Thank you, settlement and dimes coming.
Hey everybody, today's guest is friend, actor, writer, producer, karate expert, John Tague. Be sure to check out his new project, The Rolling Soldier, at Indiegogo.com. And as always, pre-order my book, get a Murdered Out Machine shirt, and check out my tour dates at BertCast.com.
This is the Bertcast.
All right. In the man cave, my friend, John Tague.
Hello.
You may remember John from such hits as maybe the first podcast I ever did. Were you here for that one?
Yeah, I was. I was in the first one.
The first one, and then, which is a year. That's a year.
Has it been a year?
It's been a year. It's been a year. I may need to turn this football game off because I'm just going to watch it.
Yeah, let's turn it off.
Fuck.
Well,
I so badly.
Why don't you just pause it?
Oh, shit. Why did I turn it off? I should have paused it.
Pause it.
Okay, let me.
This is,
let me.
the 21st century. We can do that now.
Oh, watch this. Okay. This is a weird remote. You got to kind of like scan it so it turns everything on. Because if it doesn't, like that TV's now not fucking on.
Okay, have you explained how you've got the man cave set up with the two screens?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I don't think I've really ever talked about the man cave much. Hang on. See? Just switch over to Mike real
There
quick.
you go.
Ow.
Oh, he's falling over.
My fucking heel spurs are finally gone.
What happened?
I've had heel spurs for... I got them... Let me see if I can figure out how to turn this on real quick. I got them just from running because I'm fat. It's kind of what happens to fat people.
You actually don't look as fat as you used to.
Thank you. Well, I've lost some weight, but then I've gained it all back. This should turn on that TV. Perfect. Right. I've lost some weight, but I've gained a lot of it back. And then not a lot of it, but like I was 245, and I'm like probably 230 now. But I was 220 2 weeks ago. I hurt my fucking heel. I got a plantar fascia, or whatever it's called, and it's like
plantar's wart?
Nope. It's sounds like it though. I think plantar just means on your feet.
Oh, okay.
And so, LeeAnn, do you need something?
Sorry, I didn't know you were already started.
What's up? Do you need something?
No, I found a present.
Oh, good. LeeAnn,
Some banana pudding.
are you talking to me?
Banana pudding? Yes, I would love some.
Do you want some banana pudding? We're doing a podcast, LeeAnn.
You want anything to drink, John?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Sure, why not? What do you got?
It's fucking chaos, everyone. We have everything. We have beer, we have
I'll have
wine.
beer. I'll help myself, Leanne. I'll find it. Don't worry.
Right here.
Sounds good.
Fancy, it's a Budweiser.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you.
I hope everyone can hear LeeAnn.
Yeah.
Should I talk louder?
Yeah, talk louder.
It's fancy. It's a Budweiser. I'll be right back with your pudding.
Thanks, LeeAnn.
Thank you.
So, all right. So, what I'm going to
we're
do
talking about
is
you running.
I'm going to hit record so that recording it, and then I'm going to hit pause. And now I got to go into the fucking everyone right now. It's like fucking enthralling podcast, Bert.
Yeah, I know.
Seriously.
Way to kick it off.
Yeah, way to kick it off. Nope. This podcast has already started, and now we're going to play it. And then what we'll do is we'll play it, and then we'll hit pause on that.
All right.
Bam! So I got plantar fasciitis from running. That's just basically, it feels like it's kind of in the arch of your foot, mostly in your actual heel, and sometimes on the back of your heel. And what it is the tendons under there, I guess I don't really know what they do. I guess they get injured somehow. I guess fascia is I had a conversation with Rogan about it a little bit. When you break up the fascia, you break up the broken parts. It's like the
cartilage or something?
It's like it's like the striations inside the tendon or the muscle. I know I'm going to get an email from someone saying, "Bert, you have no idea what you're fucking talking about." But because I went rolfing, I talked to Rogan about getting rolfed, and he was like, "You got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to feel."
Guy.
Really, was his name Don?
No.
That was my guy.
No.
It was the most painful fucking thing I've ever done in my entire life. It was the most painful thing I've ever done in my entire life. I literally was like, torture can't feel that much worse.
Yeah.
Like, torture's got to be in the same ballpark as this.
Yeah.
Because he could have gotten anything out of me. I would have committed. I would have said, yeah, I did it. I confess. So
But you got this just from running?
From running and from walking. So I'll tell you, I've been a big proponent of the Fitbit, and I still am. But what I've been doing is I've been trying to get my steps to around 20,000 a day. Okay. What happens is if you walk 20,000 steps a day at 200 plus pounds, your feet are going to fucking kill.
Yeah.
So that's like walking about 10 miles a day.
Yeah.
And so I lost the weight, but my feet hurt, and then I'd gain it back rapidly, and I'd keep walking, trying to lose it, but it was like too much weight on my feet. So then I went to go play fucking flag football with Lorenzo one day.
Oh, that's a huge mistake.
And my feet were bad, but I was like, it's fine. And I went and did like a juke move, and I felt a pop. And I went, oh shit! And dude, I was immobile.
Did you juke somebody though?
You know what's so funny? I didn't even. There was no one even in front of me. I just did a juke move. I did a juke move, and it just and then pop, and I was like, motherfucker. So so then yeah, I was immobile for a solid week. I couldn't even stand on my foot.
Did they put you on anything?
No, they didn't put me on anything. They LeeAnn, hop on a mic real quick. How bad was my foot when I hurt it? Would you hold the mic? Just okay, you can do it like that.
Can I do it like
Yeah.
It was really bad. And Bert usually is a big faker
Easy.
and a big whiner.
So at the time,
But no, it was really bad.
you had Bert's foot was all messed up, and then you
Yes.
had the dog's leg, and who else? The cat, right? Didn't the cat have something?
The dog tore her ACL and her cartilage.
Talk closer to the mic, John.
And her her tibia had to be broken and reset and everything put back together. But right before that surgery, the cat got his toe caught in something and ripped his toenail out and broke his toe. So with a cat, you can't really fix that, so you have to amputate the toe.
Holy shit!
So only a
LeeAnn was
portion
dealing
of
with
the toe.
all this in 1 week.
So the cat had the toe, the cat had a cone, and the cat figured out how to take his cast off with the cone on. So he would like rub his leg on the corner of the furniture and rip his cast off. Well, because it's his back foot, it was really important that he keep the cast on because he'd had a toe amputated.
Right.
It wasn't like, I mean, they can't really stitch that up. So I went to the vet 12 times in 14 days. 8 of the 12 were for the cat to get a replacement cast.
The other ones were getting a 120, 130-pound dog into a car to take it out to get laser treatments and plasma treatments.
No, that's before that started.
Okay, but then
after
and then
that-
I hurt my foot, and she's got to take me in and out of a car to get laser treatments on my heel. I mean, LeeAnn was literally at the end of her fucking
all
ropes.
together to the same vet.
Well,
I was going to.
I did at one time drop Bert off and then drop Priscilla off and then drop Bert off and then pick Bert up and then pick Priscilla up all in one trip.
Yeah, it was horrible.
But we were at 3 different places because the ACL vet is in Sherman Oaks.
Right.
The cat vet is on Laurel Canyon, and the chiropractor in the place Bert was going was on Riverside.
Oh man.
It was a nightmare.
And it was horrible. And then it started getting better a little bit. And then I did trip flip. I did it in
Where were you?
in California, Northern
Yes,
California,
yes,
all the way down to L.A. and then Hawaii. And it was bad every day. It was bad. It was really hard to get up and go to the bathroom in the morning. It was like the most painful thing. Like just getting up, and you'd want to stretch, but I mean, literally, I was hobbling.
Hobbling? No, this is what was happening. He was throwing a pillow off the bed, putting his knees on the pillow, and dragging himself to the bathroom.
Oh man.
It was that bad.
It
Were you
was
doing stand-up, too,
really
at the time?
bad.
I did stand up right after
DC?
that in DC. I did stand up. Everyone that saw me in DC knew I was a wreck. I mean, I couldn't stand. Like I had a stool out there in case I needed to sit, but then you get into it so much. But then at the end of the show, hanging out, I literally was like in so much pain.
And we have purchased more products for plantar fasciitis.
If anyone wants any
you
advice,
have any idea?
I'll tell you what. There are these socks they have. If anyone's got it, I'll tell you the things that worked for me. There's a ball that's got little knobs all over it. I think it's called rolls or something that you rub underneath the foot, and it breaks up the fascia. That's great. Also, what works is taking like a massager and just putting it on your heel so it hurts, but then it loosens it up. There are these socks that look like the gloves that don't have fingers on it. It's socks that don't have toes on it. So it looks like an ankle brace, but it's a tight sock. They're black and white.
That's kind of gangster.
And I wore those every night. The first night I wore them, my feet were throbbing. And so I was like, it must be doing something right. And then like the last week, I wore them every single night, and every morning my feet felt great. So I'm just on the other side of that. It's a fucking long story about my fucking feet. But
it's fascinating.
What's fascinating is researching all the people and all the way they get it done. Rolfing helped the best, I would say. My cousin got cortisone injections. And when I talked to Rogan about cortisone, he's like, no, don't get the fucking cortisone. You got to feel the pain to get through the pain.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like you can't, there's no shortcut. You got like the Rolfing, you feel the pain, and you like he did it. And my left felt awesome, but I had no idea what I was getting in store for Rolfing.
Cortisone's nasty. I mean, you remember that movie? What was it, North Dallas 40, where they shoot up and put the cortisone in their knees and go out and play, and like destroying their bodies.
What is cortisone, and how is it different than cortisone cream?
It's the same.
I don't know. Is it the same?
Yeah, it's all cortisone. The cortisone cream, a lot of parents won't use it on their kids at our school.
Like hydrocortisone?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm thinking.
hydrocortisone,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
because it's cortisone. It's just, I'm sure it's just a lower level. It's not as intense, and it's not meant to be ingested. It's not
Really?
meant to be put inside your body. It's just meant
So I was
topical.
putting it in rectally,
Oh, shut up.
just squirting as much as I could and seeing how long I can hold it, and
That's
then
disgusting.
that's disgusting.
That's disgusting.
Eh.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day. I was like, I don't know what. I think I was raking something, but I thought to myself, LeeAnn and I don't
Rake together?
know, but LeeAnn and I aren't like when you marry someone at like 30, or when you have sex at 30, you've kind of figured out all the shit you do and don't like in your 20s sexually,
Right.
And so you kind of show up with like a menu of what's acceptable for your behavior. Like I think I was
I'd
watching.
like to know what's on that menu for you guys.
You
LeeAnn?
would be very bored.
Yeah, it's pretty much
It's all tapas.
We're like the Archie Bunker appetite of sex: meat, potatoes, and maybe some onions on the side.
Gravy.
Gravy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're pretty. I mean, not even worthy of talking about on stage sometimes.
Oh, thanks, babe.
That's
No, but I mean, it's not like we don't do crazy shit.
It's more like a handshake.
Our body's handshake.
going, you know?
Exactly.
Hello, 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 hello. Go. Goodbye.
Exactly.
Hello, 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 hello.
I
Goodbye.
gotta go do the dishes.
What's on TV?
Yeah, love
Yeah,
ya.
sometimes we'll keep the lights on,
High five.
and that'll really change it up.
That makes it really interesting.
Or like,
Super awesome. Yeah.
or like we'll put wigs on. We did that one time.
What?
I'm kidding.
Just saw that. That's so lame. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Khloe Kardashian they're saying is the spawn of OJ.
I saw that too.
What?
I saw that too.
possible?
No,
What are you
it's
talking
not
about?
possible.
Okay, all right.
It's not. Khloe Kardashian looks like the rest of the Kardashians.
No, but are they implying that Mrs. Kardashian
Had
had
sex
an
with
affair
OG.
with OJ? Okay.
OJ.
Well,
It's
why
impossible.
is that not possible?
Well, I guess
They
OJ's
live in
kids.
the same
been
neighborhood.
possible. I mean-
OJ's kids look like, but I think OJ's kids look black.
Yeah.
I'm not
But
mistaken.
so what? That doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, baby.
No,
If you're
you
black and you have sex with a white
hold
person,
on.
your child's going to look black.
It does not matter. Look at our two children.
LeeAnn.
One is blonde,
But
blue-eyed, fair.
I'm
The
not
other
black,
one is-
LeeAnn. If I was black,
they
one of our
look
kids
totally
would. Both of our
different.
kids would look black.
They don't even look related.
No, LeeAnn. But there's a difference between me and you having kids and them looking like different white people.
Right.
I'm saying they would. If we had kids and I was black, our kids would look a lot more like me than they would like you. That's the way that works.
So I think it's safe to say that it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do you know anyone that's had an interracial child where the child just looked white? Like no curly hair, just straight black hair.
Can't think of one. No.
Khloe Kardashian has straight black hair. She looks, I mean, white. I don't think I'd ever.
Kardashianian?
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever confuse her as like I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong fucking. Like Khloe Kardashian
Chloe's
looks white.
The tall,
bigger one.
big
Yeah. Yeah.
The one I think is the sexiest, honestly.
The one that was married to the basketball player.
So who was it? Lamar Odom? Is that who it was?
I think she's still married to
How
him.
do I know this? I don't even know.
It's
I don't know,
sad.
John.
Why do I know
You
these?
have too much time.
Leanne,
People are taking up my headspace.
what? Now I just typo Lamar Odom. Chloe is with a K, right?
Yeah.
Is it?
Khloe Kardashian. All right, ready? Khloe Kardashian images. Oh, wait. OJ's manager claims Khloe is his child.
Oh.
Dude, she doesn't look interracial at all.
No.
She looks white. I guess maybe she has really curly hair and she straightens it, and that would make a little bit of a difference. She is olive complected, but she's Persian.
Yeah.
I don't fucking
I don't
see
know.
it.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's
Moving
move
on. John, how'd you get into martial arts?
Oh,
That's
God.
a
You know
really
what
good
it was?
question, Leanne.
My agent back in New York told me I was out of shape and I needed to do something. And I hated the gym. I hated lifting weights, and I just wasn't that guy. I mean, I played soccer and baseball in high school, but I wasn't like a weight guy, and I remember I was walking in, I think it was on 19th Street. I walked past Tiger Schulman's in New York, and I was like, well, I'll go check it out. I went in there, and I just loved it. It was awesome.
Really? So you were an adult when you... Cause
Yeah,
so many people started.
I was 26, I think, when I started.
And it just hit you right?
Yeah, I got into it. And then when I moved out here, I ended up studying a different style. I studied more traditional Shotokan, Japanese style out here. And yeah, now I teach the little kids.
Sensei
My
John.
minions.
So wait, I have a question.
Apocalypse.
I you probably don't know this either, but hopefully you do. What is the difference between, say, karate? Do you say karate?
I say karate.
Karate. What is the difference between karate and kung fu?
Okay. From what I've been told and from what I can gather, basically, Japanese karate came out of a kung fu system.
Oh my god! I assumed karate was Chinese for some reason until you said Japanese. I went,
Yeah.
of course, Mr. Miyagi was Japanese.
Right.
So wait, what is the Chinese form of self-defense?
Well, here's how. Now, you're probably going to get a lot of hate mail about this, but from what I can understand, or from what I've heard, most of the fighting arts that came out of Asia at that time actually originated in India.
Really?
With a style called Kalari Paratu, I think is what it's called. I think. And there was a guy who, I think his name was Bodhidharma, I think. I'm not sure. I could be totally wrong about this. But
Just own it like you know it for sure.
He was a monk. He was a monk that traveled into China. He was an Indian monk who traveled into China, and he developed, I guess, the Shaolin fighting system, the Kung Fu system. Now, there's like thousands of variations of Kung Fu.
And Kung Fu is what the Wu-Tang Clan believes in.
Yeah, like that. And,
Yeah.
and, you know, there's the Shaolin Temple and all that. And you know, when the Japanese were invading mainland China, they had a hard time fighting against these guys because their fighting system was so good. The Japanese, the samurai warriors were amazing fighters, too, from Japan. And I think what they did was they were so impressed by what they saw that they took... They took some of these guys back to Japan with them and had them teach them certain things, and so I think Shotokan kind of might have sprung from that, and they clear like Shotokan's a very linear style, so there's not a lot of crazy acrobatic things that go on. Kung Fu is a very circular type of fighting style. Very effective and really cool. And
I was under the impression that Kung Fu was make-believe.
No.
That it was like the death punch, the 5-finger death punch.
I don't know about that.
Those like the Kung Fu... there's a video online of this guy who's a Kung Fu master who's got the 5-finger death punch.
Dim Mak.
Is that, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
And he gets the shit beaten out of him. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I just saw that, so I was like, oh, Kung Fu must be make-believe. But it's real.
Well, there's... Yeah, no, Kung Fu is a real fighting system. There's thousands of variations of it, though. Bruce Lee, I think he was a Wing Chun guy before he developed his fighting style, which is Jeet Kune Do. But Wing Chun...
I thought you said Wang Chung. And I thought I was waiting for LeeAnn to go, Wang Chung?
Everybody have fun tonight.
Yeah,
Into the
have
microphone.
fun
Everybody
tonight,
have fun tonight.
So, I guess the bottom line is there's things that Shotokan or karate took from Kung Fu, and they made it their own thing. And I'm not one of these guys that thinks that one system is better than the other. I think they're all really cool. It really depends on who's fighting.
Yeah. I think that's why they came up with the octagon.
Yeah.
That's what Horian Gracie said. He's like, there were so many different styles of fighting. We wanted to find a place to find out which was the best.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that do they even have like karate masters come in, or is everyone?
Yeah. There's a fighter. His name's Lyoto Machida, who is a karate guy.
Oh, really?
But he also is very good at jiu-jitsu and very good at other fighting styles.
Hoist Gracie is the one that changed everything because. So, I don't know if you know this, LeeAnn, or not. Everyone listening probably already knows this, but like when the UFC came out when I was in college in like the 90s. And you were watching those fights at night on pay-per-view, you'd watch these fights and you'd see it was like Tank Abbott, like the scariest looking guys, like biker looking guys coming in, and then they were all fighting, and they were great fights, but then there was one guy, Hoist Gracie, who was this like
I mean, not even small. I think he's like 6 foot. But
Oh, yeah,
but
he's a
like,
big Brazilian.
but he's not. He'd be in a gi, and he'd just get in there, and he'd just go up against the guys and dance around them, and then get them on the ground. And as soon as he got them on the ground, he won the fight every single time.
Yeah, he would choke him out or put him in some kind of arms.
And that's
arm
jiu-jitsu,
bar.
right?
That's
Yeah.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
His father is, I want to say, the originator of Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Helio Gracie.
Helio Gracie.
And so Helio's a fucking pimp. I say that. I hope that doesn't sound disrespectful to any of the Gracies that are hearing that. But he was a fucking stud. Yeah. This guy we're talking about like the 30s, I think. We're talking about early in Brazil. He would roll up and like challenge people to fights in front of the courthouse. He jumped in the ocean and saved a woman who was getting attacked by a shark and fought the shark. I mean, he's just like
Oh, yeah.
he's.
You
I
go,
hope.
hi-ya, hi-ya.
No, he probably choked it out.
Yeah, it's very hard to choke a shark
I would
out.
imagine.
The
How'd you get your arms around it? They're so slippery.
no, they're not slippery at all. Their skin's very coarse. As a
They
matter of
seem
fact.
slippery.
They seem. Yeah, you're thinking of snakes. I think you're thinking of snakes.
Okay, I'm familiar with.
So wait, what belt are you in karate?
I'm a black belt.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a sensei.
Yeah, I teach kids.
Oh, so I just thought you could just teach kids. You didn't need to be like a black belt.
Yeah.
No, I had to get my black belt to do that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's no joke. That's why
Yeah.
I wanted to know. I've always wanted to know. I just assumed you did it growing up.
Well, I did a little bit. I did a little like taekwondo and things like that, here and there around, where I grew up, but I didn't get serious about it until my agent told me that I was fat and needed to do something.
Right.
So that's how it kind of took off.
I took taekwondo in New York
Yeah.
for a year. I loved it.
Yeah,
but
it's
it was
fun.
very emotional for me. I had a really hard time. I'm a reactive fighter, I think. I had a really hard time hitting people.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
So
cried.
interesting. That's so integral to who you are.
Hitting people?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I had a hard time. Maybe it was hitting people I knew who could hit me back and hurt me. I don't
Yeah.
know. Because my instructor was this enormous guy from like Jamaica or
Yeah.
somewhere. He was some world champion from Jamaica. And he would always stand in front of me and go, punch me as hard as you can. And I would just kind of like, I don't want to punch you. So it's kind of scary. It was really emotional. I didn't expect it to be.
Hitting people isn't a lot of fun, really. I mean, it's not something that everyone wants to do.
No, well, I've been in fights before,
Yeah, that's different.
intoxicated, and I've also was in a fight in a subway when someone tried to mug me, and I fought him.
Yeah.
Right, but just for someone to walk up and say hit me, and I'm supposed to be learning how to hit somebody.
And it's probably in front of
You're
a room
like-
full
It was
of
in
people,
front of the
too.
whole class,
Yeah,
yes.
that's
You're kind of like David Banner,
I don't know
yes,
who that is.
the Hulk. You're
the Hulk.
Oh, shut
You're
up.
very passive, but then once you get angry, you can't control yourself and you tear your clothes
Don't
off.
make me angry.
Well, that used to be true for sure in my 20s.
LeeAnn said some really interesting. I'm very choice. Who's watching our kids? Just out of curiosity.
Priscilla.
Dog,
Okay,
yeah.
they're fine, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're
Front door's locked.
They're playing.
Wait, can we talk? Joe, you want comfortable to tell John what happened last night?
No.
You wanna talk about it?
Let's talk about
Okay.
it after this.
Okay. I'm
got
going
a
to end up
question,
talking
though.
about. Yeah, go ahead.
Kind of, along the whole lines of fighting. You know how in it's kind of the non sequitur here, but you know how on the album Dark Side of the Moon, where you have those subliminal voices that start in at the beginning.
Yeah.
I was reading about how they did those, and what they did was they gave people cards that were hanging around the studio, and on the cards were questions, and they just answered whatever the question was. And one of the questions was, when was the last time you were violent, and were you in the right? Bert?
You're asking me. Oh, I was like, I thought they said they had my name on the card.
Yeah, your name was on the card.
When was the last time you were violent?
Bert,
and were you
we're
right,
writing
Bert?
this
And I'm
when
like,
you were 8 years
shut
old.
up. Who's
Bert.
Bert? I'm thinking, what was the name of the guys? I've been obsessed, by the way, with the guy who was in The Wall, Bob Geldorf. I had a dream about him the other night, and he just kept sitting around looking at me, watching me, and I was like, because he's got this weird guru kind of like.
That is a weird dream.
You know what is also weird, by the way? That song, Do They Even Know It's Christmas at All?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, that's kind of fucking, like, it's almost like arrogant. Like, they don't have food. Do they even know it's fucking Christmas? Like, where are their trees? Like, where are their presents? They're not even celebrating. Like, that's the way I hear the song.
Right.
Like, do they own
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Christmas
Yeah,
after and I'm like,
feed the world.
yeah. Because we saw those 2 homeless guys on Thanksgiving, and I go, do they even know it's Thanksgiving? Because they didn't look like they did. And
No,
then I was
probably
like,
not.
I wonder if that's what they meant out of that lyric. Like, they're so fucking pitiful. Do they even know it's Christmas? Anyway,
So when was the last time you were violent, and were you in the right?
the last time I was violent, was, I don't think I've been. The last time I was really genuinely violent, I was not in the right.
Okay.
When was it?
It was in college.
That was a long time ago.
And it was a guy that I didn't have a right to dislike, but I did dislike him because I was insecure or whatever fucking reason. And twice at a bar, and I was at the time I was working out, and I felt like I was big, and I was, bigger than him, I guess. Like twice I just fucking was a dick. I was a dick twice. Like one night, and then someone said something the next night, and I didn't hit him, but I definitely was not cool at all. And I think about it all the time. I think about it a lot.
So you didn't hit him, though. I mean,
I didn't hit him, but I grabbed him. I grabbed him one time by the face and pushed him, and I grabbed him by the shirt the next time, and it was like
very aggressive.
I was aggressive, but I was also drunk, and he was not a bad guy at all. He was not a bad guy, and I don't know why I did it.
Were you bullying him?
No, not bullying him, because I had a reason not to like him, but he. Let me rephrase that. He had a reason not to like me, and I did not have a reason to not like him.
So you one-upped him. So you're going to go after him before he
disliked me.
Right.
So was there a lot of trash talking?
It was a lot of my friends pulling me off and going no. The guy both times what the fuck's wrong with you?
Oh wow.
And then
isn't that weird?
And then his the bar I had been, this was Yanni's, was a popular bar that we all went to. And I was, that was a tear of time where I was where everyone was fighting. It just seemed like fighting was what you did in college. And there was some kid owned Yanni's, his dad bought him Yanni's, and I was unaware of this, that Yanni's had been sold to some kid, and this kid tried to kick me out of the bathroom. I was going to the bathroom, and he was like, I need this bathroom, and tried to kick me out, and I was like, you can go fuck yourself. and I threw him up against a wall, and he was terrified, and he's like, you're out of here. And I was like, good luck. And no one kicked me out. No one could kick me out because I knew everyone that worked there.
Yeah.
And then this kid, I got a phone call the next day saying I was never allowed back in Yanni's, that his dad had just bought him the bar. And I was like, wait, no one told me his dad bought him the bar. Someone needs to tell me that. So then I had to go and apologize to him.
So you could go back to the bar.
So I'm not going back to Yanni's. And then I attacked this other kid 2 times right after. Not attacked. I was not attacking, but it was just whatever. It was pushing and being a fucking idiot. And after that, I was like, I'm done. I don't have a violent bone in my body, and I want people to like me. And then the Rolling Stone came out, and I was I think who I really was really showed up, and I was just a fun guy who wanted to have a good time.
Right.
And I think I read it and realized, oh wait, I'm not a tough guy. I have not a tough bone in my body. But that was the last time I had been violent, and I fucking regretted it.
And
ever
you were
since.
not in the right. How about you, John? And did you use karate in your violence?
No, it was. I was in college too, and I was in a parking lot. I was walking from the fraternity house, I think, to another party somewhere else, and I don't really remember how it happened, but this kid got in my face, and it just turned into a big pushing match that ended up on the ground, and a little bit of body shots on the ground and people pulling me off. Neither one of us won the fight. It was actually a really bad fight. it was the worst.
They usually are, aren't
right.
they?
But I don't know. It was one of those weird things where all of a sudden it's I was walking past this guy and something happened. I didn't even know him. It was one of those weird things.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
that's so funny because.
Would you say you were in the right?
Well, I guess he started shit with me, and I went at it, and but I don't know. Maybe I'm the one who started. I don't
know. That's I look back at my instance, and I don't remember if I started or if he started it, and I don't remember if maybe he said something and then I fucking blew up because I'm more reactive than I am like stepping into a situation.
Yeah.
So he might have said something, but I definitely ended it. But they pulled us off, but I look at it now, and I go, if you get into any fucking altercation, you're always in the wrong. Like if I can get out of any altercation, and if I can't, then it's gonna happen. But like, and I can't stop it, and someone's gonna definitely hit me first. So I'm not hitting anybody first. I have no fucking interest in punching someone.
No.
What about you, LeeAnn?
Yeah. What about you? When was the last time you were violent, and were you in the right?
I was in the wrong, and I was 29. Which is pretty old, I think, to have not matured out of that kind of behavior.
Jesus Christ.
But I was in a fight with the fake professional surfer boyfriend you don't believe is really a professional surfer.
This guy is such a phony.
I was in
This guy, wait. I want to hear your story first.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was in an argument with him, and I hit him. I punched him in the stomach.
Wow.
And shortly after that, I broke up with him because I thought that is not good behavior, and we are not a good match.
Was it a
Because
good shot? Did you hit him hard?
I love it.
I thought it was hard, but I mean, he was a big guy. He's like Bert size, real tall, real big guy.
He was.
But I was like, this is not good. I can't
he was a
do that
surfer?
anymore. Yeah,
John.
He's a huge guy.
John.
Wow.
Say whatever you want to say.
I'm not. First of all, you're not allowed to defend exes in front of me.
I'm not defending him. I'm
Okay.
just saying
Here we go.
there's the truth and there's Bert's version.
Okay, I'm
Right.
gonna look. I just sniff
Who
out.
has, by
I
the
can-
way, never met or seen or talked to this guy at all. So
But let me tell you the story I heard.
Okay.
He is a professional surfer who started a clothing line and sold it for like $1 million.
What clothing line?
Oakley
Can we talk
bought
about that?
Oakley bought it. It's you wouldn't know it because Oakley
it.
bought it.
Oakley bought his clothing.
So he bought his clothing line. It's a professional surfer, started a clothing line, sold it for $1 million, and then decided that the rat race wasn't for him.
Yeah.
Maybe he was taking a break. I don't know what he was doing, but he became the the night manager at Lowry's Steakhouse.
How do you do that? How do you go
you
from
just-
that to that?
That's my point.
What he told me was that he wanted to learn how to run a business because one of the reasons he sold his business is because he didn't know how to run it. So he wanted to learn how to manage a business and run a business. Now, it may have been total bullshit, but saw pictures of him surfing.
No, I understand. I bet he surfed. I bet he surfed. But like, if you
saw his
sell your
shit.
company for $1 million, it's a lot.
No,
I just assume that you could then either A, start another company and sell it for $1 million, or B, get a job in a real business. I'm not saying Lowry's isn't a real business,
Totally.
but anyone can theoretically get the night manager's job at Lowry's. And you're not really necessarily learning business, you're learning how to run a restaurant and deal with waitresses. And waitresses, it's just waitresses at Lowry's.
Yeah.
You're not learning to run a business.
How about
Right.
employees? 'Cause
Yeah.
there are other people than waitresses.
I mean, I managed.
No,
a
but
restaurant.
Lowry's has got an interesting vibe to it because it is 1950s.
Yeah.
It's set up. No, but I mean, it's like
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
like a.
it's not. Yeah,
like a landmark, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
it's-
great fucking place to
I've
eat.
never been.
It's amazing. I
Is
worked
it?
there for 2 years. I made $50,000 working 20 hours a week. As a waitress.
So did you meet him there?
Yes, I did.
He was the manager at Lowry's,
Right.
and then of course, I mean, this is just how I know guys. He then says, I used to be a professional surfer. I had a business, sold it for $1 million, but I'm here. This is what I wanted to learn. I was like, bullshit. Where does he live? He rented an apartment, right? Or did he own? With
Lived
$1 million,
on the beach in Huntington
And
and,
it-
surfed every day.
owned it.
No, he didn't own it.
$1 million. Either I just heard this and I was like I didn't say anything at first, and then she brought it up in front of Lorenzo. No, Lorenzo, if anyone can sniff out a liar, it's
him.
Lorenzo. And Lorenzo's like, she left, and Lorenzo was like, "Do you call bullshit on this story?" I go, 100%, 100%. But then LeeAnn got really defensive of him. She's like, "No."
Because it makes me look like an idiot that I would buy the story. That's the problem. It's not about his
No,
story.
I get it.
But that I look like an idiot.
Well,
Okay,
you want to.
but-
That's
okay,
how
so-
con men work. You want to believe
Sure.
they're telling you the truth.
So you're saying I'm
but what
dumb enough
made-
to fall for a con.
But what made you hit him?
What made me hit him?
Yeah.
He was feeding me a line of bullshit, and I was tired of it. So
He was lying to you.
No, well, he was just bullshitting me.
Okay.
I wanted him to do something, and he didn't want to do it. And then we went back and forth for a long time over it.
See, I wouldn't mess with LeeAnn.
And I got mad at him because of the way he was talking to me. Now, you know I don't like certain...
LeeAnn's a country girl.
I get really,
She'll...
I got really mad. I had really bad temper for a long, long time. And I still
Make sure you're talking to the mic as best you can, because I can't hear you. But so wait, no, but yeah, but I don't think... I don't know. I'm not saying you're so dumb you fell for a line of bullshit, but I've believed con artists before. We had this guy in our freshman year of high school.
High school or college?
College. His name was John Blunt. Was his name, and he had a lot of stories that I wanted to believe. He grew up in Brazil. He had spent a year at Pepperdine. His mom, he had done a bunch of modeling work. He was recruited to play professional soccer. Like all these great stories, and he was good looking, and he was in great shape, and he was funny, and it was like everything. He had everything like locked down, and I liked him. I liked him a lot. He was fun to be around. He never had money. He always was borrowing money from you, and you were always like giving him money, and then all of a sudden one day he'd be like, "Hey, I bought you a pair of shoes," and you'd be like, "Oh, thanks." And he'd be like, "Yeah, I got my check in, and I owe you, so I got these shoes for you." And you're like, "Oh, great." And then I didn't want shoes, but you're like, "Whatever." Shoes is a bad example. I bought you a bottle of tequila, and so you're like, "Thanks." So
did you even wear shoes in college?
Birkenstocks, big time Birkenstocks, and so then we went down and met his mom in Miami. But it was like there was all these like, hey, when you're around my mom, don't bring up this, and then when you do this, like you can't, and then and like he like. I mean, there was so much shady shit going around him. Like he never wanted you to like. You couldn't talk about this around these people. I don't want to be around those people. And then it turned out that it was all kind of a lie.
Yeah.
Like everything was a lie. He had made it all up. And Jeff Hartley was like my buddy. We were like best friends in high school. And Hartley was friends with him too. And Hartley was the first one who's like, I think this guy's full of shit. And he's like, and I don't want him around me anymore. I don't want to be around the guy. And he's like, I've caught him in a couple lies. Like he said he fucked a couple girls, and Hartley's like, he never fucked them. And then it was like, but the whole time I would have stayed friends with him. 'Cause I didn't, not that I didn't care, but I wanted to believe it.
You wanted to believe the stories.
I wanted to believe the stories because the stories were fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy really is fucking fascinating. And I never called bullshit. And then finally I lived with Hartley, and Hartley was like, you're done. I want you to drop. He had a bunch of our shit. And he's like, drop it at our place, or I'm going to come find you and I'm going to kick your ass. And he dropped it off with a note saying, I'm sorry. I always felt bad for the guy. I always liked him too. But then everyone...
Did everyone dump him?
Everyone did. Everyone, because I think he got caught. He got caught in a few other scams. Like for beginning of freshman year, he didn't have a place to live, so he was crashing on people's couches in their dorms, waiting for his paperwork to come through. And you're just like, I don't get it. Like, but it's a con artist. It's the purest sense of the form. And I had a con artist in high school. One of our teachers was a con artist, and I was like, what a great fucking teacher. And then they were like, yeah, he was never a teacher. He was never fucking certified. He was a con artist. And I was like, God damn it, I really like that guy. So,
yeah.
I understand falling for it. It's one of the reasons, like, when I tell a story, I get hooked into the fucking smallest detail that I go, people need to know this is true, because I don't want people to think I'm a liar, because I've been around liars.
Right.
But I also will stretch the truth on parts to get you to laugh,
Yeah, I mean, and your stories are so out of control.
So outrageous.
It's like almost hard to believe, but they're true.
Yeah. I mean, they literally are hard to believe.
Yeah.
I say this over and over again. I remember one time I was in Atlanta with the girls, and I got a post from someone in my Russian class who sent me on Twitter, on Facebook. It was a girl, and she said, I recognize Kristen Hodgson is her name. I recognized her name immediately. I went, oh my God, she was in my class. And her post said, I just saw the Machine video for the first time. And I went, in my head. Now, I know that story's true. I've lived that story. But in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I'm busted. I know that story's true.
Because, you sometimes when you tell a story, you start believing your own bullshit sometimes.
It's the way pathological people operate that way. Regular people also operate that way, but not like when you tell a story enough, whatever detail that you find interesting or you log on to, then that becomes, even if it's not even true or someone says it. I saw the post and I went, oh my God, I'm busted.
Right.
That's what I thought. And then her post was, I saw the Machine story for the first time. I was there. It is 100% true. And I went, I literally said to myself, I told you, to me,
I told you. And I was like, yeah, but. And then I was like, I knew it was true. The Tracy Morgan story, like, I got to be dead honest with you. Part of me was like, I can't believe that really happened. Like, and I know that it did.
What, you couldn't believe it really happened at the time it happened, or later on?
Even after. After. Because the day after it happens, you tell it like it's 10 times bigger.
Right.
Like, I remember I told it to Eddie Ift, like, that night. Because it happened, and then I met up with Eddie Ift, or the next night I told Eddie Ift, and he was like, whoa. So then, you know, whatever happens with that story happens, and then I'm at the brouhaha in Cincinnati, and I see Tony Woods, and Tony Woods was there that night, and I go, Tony...
Wait, wasn't that in D.C.?
No, that was what? No.
Different one.
Tony was there a week after in D.C.
Okay,
but I'd run into Tony in Cincinnati at the brouhaha, and we were with a bunch of comics, and I'm like, Tony, I'm going to tell you a story. I want you to tell me if what I'm telling is at all true, or if you remember this at all. And he's like, is this a story about you and Tracy Morgan with the PCP? I went, yeah. And he goes, yes, it's true. I go, wait. Can I tell it the way I tell it, and you tell me? And he's like, yeah. And our versions of how the story are very different. Yeah. Like, my version is I'm 100% innocent, but
that's why you can't, like, when you're like a juror in a trial.
Oh, don't get me started.
You don't know. Like, witnesses are so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't know. Their version of the truth might not really be what actually happened.
It's their version.
It's jaded by all your interactions in your entire life.
And by the freaking other people in the room with you deliberating or whatever.
Right. Well, no. Well, it's true because all stories I tell about me, I never. It's a part of my self-defense mechanism. But it's a part of the way I tell stories. I never get the funny line. I will never say in a story I tell you about me that I was fucking hilarious. Right. I will tell you a story about me where I was simply there and everyone around me was hilarious. It's kind of the way I tell a story. Like when the childbirth of LeeAnn, the doctor's the one that says the funny line. I'm just this guy kind of sitting back there. I don't really say much funny. You're
like the straight man.
Yeah,
in your own
Georgia and Isla with the dog and the finger in the butt. I just am kind of like what am I like? I'm just there. And so in the Tracy Morgan story, true to form, it's like I tell the story just like I do the Machine story. I'm just an innocent bystander, and Tony Woods, when he tells you were there the night he told the story.
Yes,
on stage in DC.
It was amazing. I wish we had recorded it because it was really amazing.
It was one of the coolest experiences.
Awesome. And you went over
so
by
he,
like an
he
hour.
went over the story.
So wait, so
his version.
LeeAnn's in the back of the club. I'm on stage, and I hear Tony has a very distinct, like kind of slow, like higher but not so high, like hey, tell it, hey, like soft, almost soft. Tell the Tracy Morgan story in the back, and I go, is that Tony? Tell that Tracy Morgan story. And so I was like, I'll tell you what.
I'm going to go. Their doors are slamming. I'm going to go check on girls. I'll be back.
So I said, why don't you come up here and tell it with me?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, man, it's your story. And I was like, no, it's our story. You come up. I'll tell my side of the story. You tell your side. So he comes up on stage. I have two mics on stage. We're drinking. He's drinking Hennessy and I'm drinking whiskey. Yeah. We're hammered. And he tells a story. I tell the story, and then he goes back and tells that exact same thing and corrects me with I'm wrong, with what made me wrong about it. So I was working the door and I saw Tracy Morgan or whatever, but his version has me extremely culpable. It has me being me, who you know to be me.
Yeah.
And
that's bad news.
It's my version is me being me, and however I tell a story. And right. I guess it really made me kind of like introspectively look at how I tell a story, because every time I tell a story, the only thing you can ever say that I am maybe misaccurate in is I make other people a lot funnier than they might have been in that situation. Sure. Simply because that's where the laughs are in the story for me when I tell it. I'm not the kind of guy that can go, let me tell you about this shit I did.
Right.
Like, I'm not that guy. I'll tell you about this crazy shit that happened to me, but because that's an easier story for me to tell.
Right.
So, in all my stories, I guess, ultimately, but regardless, like one of my favorite stories ever is the story of our play we did.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that, because that's the first time we met.
Yeah, that's one of the best stories. So, like, I'll tell it my way, and then you tell it your way.
Okay.
So, and by the way, this gets even better because it's even further because now
you're involved.
Now I'm okay. So I'll just tell all of it. This is serendipity how it works.
Yeah.
So my best friend at the time was a guy, Croy Lazaro. He's still one of my good friends. I don't see him ever anymore. He's moved back to Tampa since, but
He's back in Tampa.
yeah, moved back to Tampa. I don't know what he's doing down there, but I don't see anybody unless you have kids that play with Georgia. I don't see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the way my life kind of operates, or Georgia or Isla, because I'm working so much that when I'm home, I've talked about it a bunch. But so then Croy says, "Hey, my buddy Lex wrote a play. Lex is not April's.
What's her name?
God damn it! Oh fuck! This is really upsetting me because I know her. God damn it!
I can't remember her name.
Oh my god! That fucking just slipped.
She was good friends with Claire too.
Yeah. Oh fuck! Not April. LeeAnn would know it. So Lex is dating her, and Croy was good friends with her. They got like acting school together or something. And he's like, it's a play. It's a comedy about four friends who all live together, and I liked it because I had just seen what's the movie with Kevin Spacey and Sean Penn?
Hurly Burly.
I just seen Hurly Burly, and I loved the way that kind of ran off, and I was like, I want to do a play like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm in. So he's like, cool. So they set up. We all meet. It's
Was that
me.
the first play that Lex wrote?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So it's a play about four friends who graduate college and move to Cape Canaveral to start having shuttle launch parties.
Right. They rent a house and they have
They rent a house and it's all about them and they're all ready to grow up and they're all ready to move on and go to different places. And just when they're about to fucking take off, NASA decides to have his first shuttle launch in like 5 years. Right. And they're like, finally, this payoff, we're going to have a shuttle launch party. So they get together, they throw this huge party, girls show up, they have fun, and as they're going to watch the first shuttle launch, the shuttle explodes. And that's their one shuttle launch party, and then I don't know what happens after that. I think they all move away or they die. Did they die?
No, that's totally not what happens in the play.
Oh fuck! Are you serious?
No. What happens is your character, from what I can remember.
Oh, I blow up this shuttle.
Oh, you were going to blow up the shuttle.
Yes!
You told everybody in the play that you were going to blow up the shuttle. That you snuck onto the base and you planted a bomb.
Yeah.
And the thing takes off. And the end of the play is all of us watching the shuttle go off into the atmosphere, and it's a beautiful moment, and we all kind of... I don't really remember how...
But it does explode, right?
No. What happened...
Hold on.
Okay.
Let's start. Let's backtrack. So then we all start rehearsing this play for I want to say 6 months.
It was a long time, man, because he was doing rewrites all the time on it. I remember.
Yeah,
we were constantly rehearsing.
I want to say 6 months. We fucking rehearsed this play for 6 fucking months.
We had it nailed.
We went to Alexis's.
Lex
and Alexis.
Right.
We went to Alexis's house every fucking day.
Yeah,
like forever. And I canceled road work for rehearsals.
Oh, yeah.
I canceled, and when the play was done, that's another one of my favorite parts. So we rehearsed this play and it got it really tight, and then we got a space and then we book our time to do the play. We got like a 4-week run.
Oh,
was it a 4-week run?
Was it? Well, I think what was it, like a Friday and Saturday night show, and maybe it was 4 weeks. I can't even remember.
And the play is obviously about four guys who are waiting for shuttle launch parties. And opening night.
Was it opening night?
It was opening night.
Oh, God.
Opening night.
Well, it was the night that we were getting reviewed.
No, it was opening night.
Oh, okay.
It was it was opening night, right?
Yeah, maybe.
It was opening night. Opening night. We get a call. I get a call at like 2:00 from Croy, and he goes, "Turn on the news." I go, "What?" And he goes, "Turn on the news. I think we're fucked." I go, "What?" I turn on the news. The shuttle had exploded.
Yeah, well, it had exploded on its way back into what was it? That was the Discovery?
Over Texas, yeah. And I want to say Texas, and exploded. And so we're like, fuck. Guess we can't do our play about me trying to blow up the shuttle.
No, but guess what? We ended up doing it.
Yeah, we ended up doing it to fucking 6 people.
Who did not enjoy it.
Oh, and I'm like, I remember having to go like, yeah, I'm blowing up the shuttle. Yeah. Oh, a little too soon.
The most uncomfortable performance ever.
I said too soon, and Croy's like, well, it's still smoldering. So yeah, I would say it's too soon.
Yeah.
So we do the play, and then it was me. I played. Who did I play? Lane.
man.
Do you remember your character's name?
I can't. I can't remember my character's. I think it was. I don't remember the character.
Lane, Franklin, Lex was one of them. Lex was a guy because they were all based on his real friends.
All on his real friends.
And another guy. I forget the other guy's name. Shane, not Shane, because that's who it really is.
I can't remember.
But So we do the play. We get reviewed. We get horrible reviews. I got actually pretty good review in it, but we get horrible reviews. It goes nowhere. It doesn't help out any of our careers. John at all. It actually hurts our careers.
It hurt my career.
John gets booked for Buffy. Buffy the Vampire Slayer was John's fucking show.
I love that show.
John loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and he books a part on Buffy.
Playing a vampire, fighting Buffy.
Yes.
And I had to turn it down because we had a show that night.
Yep. And you couldn't go shoot.
Yeah.
And you turned it down, and I was like, I remember.
You were like, I wouldn't have done that.
I wouldn't have done it. I would have fucking taken Buffy. That's why we're all here. We're all here not to be in this play.
My wife talked me out of taking the job because she's like, these are our friends. You can't do that to our friends. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
When was the last time you talked to them?
I haven't. Talked to them
since the play.
Right. Well, I'm still. I saw Croy. I think once or twice around here, and the other guy, Davis.
Yeah,
yeah. I did a movie with him a long time ago called Living and Dining with Maureen Stapleton, and he lives out here. But it's one of those things you just time goes by and you just don't keep in touch. I guess.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him. It'd be awesome to hang out with him again.
And so then, John turns down a role in Buffy. By the way, I worked with someone from Buffy recently. It was... Oh, shit. It was on Doug Loves Movies. We did she was put on Buffy. You'd know who she is.
Charisma Carpenter?
I don't know. She's got 4 kids.
Oh.
She lives in Sherman Oaks. Maybe I shouldn't say where she lives. But never mind. I won't tell you her name now. Anyway, but so we do the play, and then John turns down his part on Buffy, and he was like, "It's killing me. I was like, "I would have taken it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Cancel the play for a night. We could use a break."
Yeah, we could have. I mean, shit. Nobody would have missed it.
Literally, we had 6 people in the audience. Our biggest show maybe had 20 people, and they were always our friends, managers, parents. Croy's parents flew out from Tampa to see it. I mean, it was just, and it was. But here's where
we
Sharon
thought it was funny though. We thought the play
it was a fucking
funny.
really funny play.
Nobody else did.
No one found it funny. We found it fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I still use the term "wahizzy wahoused."
Oh, that was the worst line for me to have to say. I could never get it right.
Yeah, and I was like, and I remember us going, you were like, who fucking talks like this? No one talks like this. And Lex is like, my friends and I talk like that. And we're like, well, you guys are fucking morons. And so it became a joke for me and LeeAnn. LeeAnn's like, who wrote "wahizzy wahoused"? I go, Lex and his friends talk like that.
Yeah.
She was like, shut up. And I go, yeah. So LeeAnn still says that. I'm getting "wahizzy wahoused."
Yeah.
And now we say it for
all
real.
The time,
now we say it for real. So, but here's where serendipity comes
It
in.
used to drive me nuts. I could not get that line out of my mouth. It was just something so unnatural for me.
I don't remember many of the lines in there, but I do know that's where I got.
The only line I remember through the whole thing.
I remember that I also learned that grapes are great in chicken salad with walnuts.
Yeah, that was weird. Is that true?
Yeah, there really are. Grapes are great. That was another one of the lines in the play was that I made Croy a chicken salad sandwich.
Right, it had grapes.
And I go, guess what's great about that sandwich? And he's like, what? And I go, you're never going to guess. He's like, what? And I go, grapes. He goes, grapes? I go, it goes against everything you think.
Yeah.
Grapes in chicken salad? This is the lines. And he's like, yeah.
Now it's all coming back to me.
And he's like, really? I go, I know, right? He's like, I know.
Yeah.
I go, they make the sandwich. Do they not make the sandwich? He goes, they make the sandwich. I told you.
Now, meanwhile, if you're listening to this, imagine yourself in the audience trying to understand what the hell's going on.
Imagine an audience about guys who made a chicken salad sandwich and put grapes in it. And
They're about to blow up the space shuttle.
Oh, it's a fucking... So then the best part is I go to do, for development, to develop a sitcom, and I sit across from, I have a meeting with the writers. What they do is you get a producer on board. The producer then finds writers or a showrunner or both in that. And then if you find the right writers and you guys come up with the right script, you take it to a studio. If the studio likes it, they set up meetings at networks and you sell a sitcom. So I meet this producer. And me and him get along really well, and he digs me, he gets me, and he goes, I got just the right writers for you. He's like, I can set up a bunch of meetings, or I can set up one that is right. Yeah. And he's like, these are the 2 hottest writers in town. I was like, great.
Who are they?
So I'll tell you in a second. Okay. So we sit down, we go to his office to meet them, and they come in, and they're both really tall, like good-looking dudes, and I don't know why I say good-looking, but they sit down, and we talk small talk. Hey, Bert, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. And we go in the room, and one of the guys goes, we're all gonna have a meeting. And he goes, we have an interesting past. I said, really? He goes, yeah. You were in a play. I said, I was. I go, one play. And he goes, yeah, that where you played. And I tell the story about how it was about blowing up the shuttle, and the shuttle blew up and everyone laughs. And they go, shut up. And they go, did you get you any work? I said, no, not at all. It actually hurt some of our careers. And he goes, well, the interesting thing is my name's Franklin. I go, what? And he goes, my name's Franklin. You played Lane. Lane was my best friend. Mm-hmm. And he goes, Lane and I lived together out here, and we saw you in that play. And I went, shut the fuck up. And he goes, yeah, Lex was one of our friends. Lex is now writing like young adult novels or like thrillers. He's really successful writing books. And so, but he goes, yeah, so I'm Franklin. We went and watched you play each other, like you and John and Davis and all those guys. Croy, you guys all played us, and we went as a group and watched you play us. And I went,
hilarious.
And I literally went, this is the guy. I go, Shane and Franklin are the two writers. I go, I want them. I want them.
The serendipity with that.
I go, it's too fucking insane. And then it turns out they're like literally the two hottest writers in town.
Wow. And
they're fucking really good fucking, I mean, they're really good. They're not going to hear a bad word coming out of my mouth from those guys. They get me.
Yeah.
They understand how the whole thing works.
What's Franklin's last name? Is it Hardy?
Yeah.
He just got married, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I was in acting class with his wife, Heather.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she was really cool.
Yeah, and then Shane, I get the emails either are Franklin and Shane or both their last names.
Okay, yeah.
So like when you get emails from them, but they're great guys. I fucking love them. I'm horrible with details like that. Like, oh, what's their like I don't know, Franklin and Shane.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did that play, and that's how we became friends, and then our wives became better friends,
right?
And then we all just hung out,
and then we had kids, and then all our kids go to school together, and it's like I see you people more than my own family.
Yeah, that's the way it works. That's the way it works. No, wait, I want to talk a little bit about the project you have, the Rolling Soldiers project. Because I just tweeted something about that today. I'm going to post this today to kind of help raise funding for it because I don't know. This is the way the business works a little bit. It's like I was saying this the other day to Tom. Hayslip.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right.
Tom is like Tom was on the Easter podcast. I think John was on as well.
Yeah.
Tom's mom was on it. That
was a great one. Those stories were amazing. The Vietnam stories?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Tom's mom wrote the book, When Heaven and Earth Change Places. That is the movie that Oliver Stone optioned and did. Tom is producing Mission Impossible 5.
Amazing.
And so but I'm so not, and this is what I was going to say, this is how the business works, is that if you're friends with someone, you in Hollywood, if you're really friends with them, you almost do not pay attention to what they're doing, and you just kind of hang out with them. You never talk about business. Like, never. I don't think me and you have ever really had a conversation about business, ever. I've never really had one with Tom Segura. Like, he'll call and go like, hey, man, have you been to this club? Or something like that. But we don't talk about, like, anything like that, I mean, at all. And I don't even know. I said to someone goes, what's Tom working on? I said, oh, he's working on Mission Impossible 5. And they're like, what's he doing? Is he acting in it? And I was like, no. And they're like, what's he doing? I was like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
I have no idea what he does.
Yeah.
So, but that is the kind of weird thing. And so you did the Rolling Soldier, and you funded it yourself, you shot it yourself, you edited it yourself, you put it together yourself.
Yeah. Well, what I did was the Rolling Soldier. It's a action kind of psychological drama web series because I really kind of thought the web series format would be a really cool thing to explore because it's blowing up.
Yeah. You're telling me I'm doing the youlive.com things, and I've seen commercials because I've been watching the show I Want That, and I've been seeing commercials for it every fucking break. There's a commercial with me on that, and I'm like, dude, it's the future.
It is. I mean, if you think about it, House of Cards is a web series. You can only watch it on the web. You can only get it from the internet.
Orange is the New Black.
Exactly. Yeah, same thing. I mean, things are moving that way. And so, I kind of wanted to be a part of that, and I wanted to create a vehicle for myself, and we shot the pilot, and I've got a lot of good actors in it. Elisa Alapak and Rigo Sanchez and Max Tadman and Kiki Aldonis and London Thor, Scott Pete, some really cool people. And I wanted to do something. Number one, I was selfish. I wanted a platform for myself.
Yeah.
Because it's nearly impossible.
Anything I've ever made in this business is only for me.
Yeah, you got to blaze your own trail. You really do. And so we shot the pilot. It's about 8 minutes long. It looked great. It sounded great. I ended up doing the music for it myself. Like I said, I wrote it and directed it, and I didn't edit the pilot. I had a great editor, Kyle Moore. He did the editing. And it came out great. And people said to me, "Well, are there going to be more?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to make more, but I need the money."
Yeah.
And these things are not easy to make. It's expensive, man, making these things. Even with the technology, like these DSLR cameras, like you'd think, oh, anybody can make a movie now. Or anybody can make a web series. And people do. People make, web series on their iPhones and stuff. But, in order to have some kind of production value behind it, it's got to look cool, and you got to spend money on that. And so that's where I'm at now. And so what I did was I'm starting I've been in the middle of my Indiegogo campaign. Indiegogo's a crowd, funding website that, has a lot of really cool projects on there, all kinds of different movies and products and whatever, that need to be funded. And I chose Indiegogo because I get to keep whatever money I raise.
Because you're making the project regardless.
Oh yeah, no.
So it's like it's not like it was like you could do. I did Kickstarter, and it was like if this happens, that'll happen, and it was easy for me because I didn't really like. I mean, obviously, I have an attachment to my documentary, but I didn't really have an attachment to the documentary. Right. And I was like, if people want to see it, I'll do it. Right. But if people don't want to see it, I don't want to do it. Like I was like, so if we raise money, I'll do it. But if we don't raise the money, I'm not gonna fucking do it because that means people don't want to see it. Right. And you're like, and yours on the opposite side going, oh no, I'm doing this.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'm doing this because it's very different than a documentary about a comedian who people like to go watch drink.
But you also have a huge fan base too. So it would
I don't know about but well, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Yes.
So you got that funded, right?
Yeah, I got it funded, and I'm just got an email from Jeff Hinman today saying version 2 is ready for me to go see, and then I think we're doing. I don't know, but maybe I shouldn't talk about it. But I'm doing something. I don't know. I can't talk about it. But yeah, but so we did it. But so your thing.
Basically what I wanted to do was raise $30,000 to shoot this, and I wanted to do about maybe 8 to 12 episodes if I could. And I thought, well, 30,000 that seems like a reasonable amount.
Yeah.
Man, I had no idea.
Oh, it's hard as
how
fuck.
hard it is.
Unless you get onto some
unless it goes viral or something where you're able to do it. And it's been amazing. The people that have donated so far are mostly family and friends.
Yeah.
And then there's like the occasional person that we're like, wow, where'd that come from? It makes you just wonder. But I've got 3 more days of my campaign.
When's it end?
Wednesday. What's today? Today's Saturday. I'm still kind of hungover from Thanksgiving.
Dude,
I don't even know. I think it ends Monday.
Okay. Well, I'll post this tonight.
Okay.
And then I can roughly tell you how many people will listen to this Sunday.
Okay.
So everyone listen to this. What's the lowest you can donate?
$5.
If you can donate, listen to this. Just kick in $5.
Yeah.
$5. Everyone kick in $5, and he will be funded. No questions asked. You'll be above funded if everyone does it.
That would be
but
amazing.
if half the people do it, you'll meet funding. Just people listen to this on Sunday, and on Monday, if you caught this on Monday, go there. Can you extend it at all, or are you?
No.
So I should have done this fucking 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry.
All right, man.
But yeah, go on Sunday and kick in $5. I'll tweet it again. If you do $5, it will get funded. But it's going to be done anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot something. I mean, it might be all in close-ups.
Yeah.
Which might be interesting. I don't know.
It's all in voiceover. There's no audio.
Like cartoon drawings.
What fucking movie did I see that they were like, oh, The Wiz. To save money, they did all of it in ADR. They did all the voice.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, to save money. Because they're like, listen, we got these huge productions.
Yeah.
We're never going to get these actors to deliver their lines on time.
Yeah.
They're huge dance pieces. Just cut it.
Yeah.
We'll just get them to get the dance things right. We'll shoot them wide, and then we'll plug in the voiceover afterwards.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, so everyone go, where do you go to?
Just go to Indiegogo.com and type in The Rolling Soldier, like the Rolling Stones, but it's not.
What's the premise of The Rolling Soldier, so they know?
The Rolling Soldier is a story about a CIA operative.
The thing you sent me, is that online?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's about a CIA operative who gets wounded in Afghanistan, and he's seen something happen there, and he knows something that the government doesn't want to get out. He gets wounded. He goes into a coma, and he wakes up several years later and finds himself on the run. It's a different world he's living in now, and he's trying to make sense of it all. And he gets,
all I can think is that he's going to school at Spelman. Like, it's a different world. It's a different world he's living in now. Dwayne Wade, not Dwayne Wade.
You got me on that
What
one.
was that?
I don't know
Fuck
that
it.
one.
Anyway, keep going.
So, and then he gets reintroduced to all of his teammates and his family, which are now his kids, who are now 10 years older, which is interesting. So it's kind of it's not a family drama, but it is. It's there's a family element, kind of like with the flavor and taste of like what The Sopranos, how that kind of family thing happened in that show, and it also. It's got some action. We had a great stunt choreographer named John Kreng involved, and John worked with Jackie Chan and Jet Li, and I'm hoping that I'm able to use him again because I've got some fight scenes that I'm going to be doing in the following episodes. And
so the urgency is there. Everyone, when you're listening to this, go straight to Indiegogo.com, go to the Rolling Soldier, and give $5. Give more, please. But if you just give $5, it'll get funded. And then, my favorite idea you ever had was, what was this idea? What was the premise? You pitched me one time about a guy who moved into a tree.
Oh,
do you remember that?
That one, yeah.
I love that. But you know what? I don't remember. Don't tell it, because you may still want to do it. But it was the fucking. I remember seeing it totally different than you saw it.
Yeah.
And I liked it. Like that's the other thing that's horrible about me is LeeAnn will pitch me an idea and I'll go. And I will mishear it.
Yeah.
And I'll go, that's fucking genius.
Yeah.
I go, what color's the gorilla? And she's like, gorilla? What are you talking about? There's no gorilla in this.
But that I wrote one for you.
What was that one?
The one about the. I can't give it away. I have to talk to you later about it.
I love this. This is the secret podcast.
Yeah.
There's so many secrets. I'll tell you the thing that LeeAnn and I were talking about earlier. It's pretty fucking intense.
Okay.
But it's not like gossip about anyone, but it's something with the kids.
Oh.
But it's really like you'll be like, whoa.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah.
How long did we do?
I don't know. How long have we been going, man?
Holy shit, this is 2 hours?
Wow.
No. Hour 6. Perfect.
Cool.
All right, you want to watch the rest of this football game?
Yeah, let's watch the game. And, if you can, please log on to Indiegogo.com and kick in a couple bucks for me. I'd really appreciate it. The Rolling Soldier.
The Rolling Soldier.
And
Here,
Bert, thank you so much.
Oh,
for
don't
having
mention
me
it.
on
I wish
the
I had
show.
done this. I'm glad I did it today because I bet more people will donate going, shit, I got to get this money in there. As opposed to if I'd done it 2
Maybe, yeah,
weeks,
maybe
they would have
we'll
been
like
like,
it.
they would have been like, oh, well, I'll get to it.
Yeah.
But go to it right now.
Yeah, it's
the Rolling
urgent.
Soldier, and watch the one.
The pilot. You can watch the pilot. If you go to Indiegogo.com, there's links all over the Rolling Soldier page that will take you to the pilot. So, if you're like, what is this? You just watch the pilot. You'll get an understanding of what it's all about.
Yeah.
And then you can say, you know what? I thought that was cool. I'll kick.
That's the best part is that you said, do not show this to anyone. And I was in a meeting when I got it, and I clicked on it, and my director's like, what is that? And I was like, oh, it's my things. And I'm showing it. And John was like, don't show this to anyone. I was like, and he's like, that looks awesome, man. What studio? And I was like, no, my buddy just did it. And then I read the note, please don't show this to anyone. I'm like, never mind. But yeah,
Did you get to watch the end of it?
I know I had to stop right there. And I watched other parts of it, like at the hotel rooms. But as always, I start watching something and then I fucking black out drinking.
Do you watch web series at all? When
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed right now with going on Amazon and Netflix, and I've watched a documentary every single night.
Really?
Yeah, last night I watched one about Burning Man.
Oh, is it good?
I want to go to Burning Man so bad. Only problem I have with Burning Man per se, it's not really a problem with Burning Man. It's a problem with people that like have you gone to a bike shop lately?
No.
Like,
like
bike
a bicycle shop?
Yeah, bicycle shops
Okay,
are like pretty much ground zero for hipsters.
Yeah.
That's like everyone that works there has got like some ironic tattoo on their forearm.
Yeah.
Of some. It's a nautical. Like, and you're like, and
Do you have any tattoos?
No.
I don't either.
But it's like they're exhausting sometimes. You go to a bike shop and you just can't just go, hey man, I'm getting a toy.
I'm getting myself a toy. You work at a toy store. Like, let's not overthink this.
Yeah.
I understand that bikes are like, but like, I just want a bike, man. I just want a fucking bike.
Right.
I had a weird interaction with this lady. We were trying to buy Isla a bike, and this girl was like, she was just really didn't want to be there. And I was like, I wanted to go, hey, young lady, because she's clearly 10 years younger than me. Like, let's dial this attitude back. We're getting a little girl a bike. How about you be excited about a little girl getting a bike? If you want to fucking perpetuate the hipness of what you do,
right.
do it to my little girl. Let my little girl feel special right now, as
Not how
opposed
cool
to
it is.
you being bothered that, yeah, kids ride bikes too. I thought they were for cool people who fucking get it and are vegans. And it was like that attitude. But
So this is why
by
you
the way,
won't go to Burning Man.
I'm reading into that attitude a lot.
Okay.
I'm reading into that attitude a lot because towards the end she did kind of come around and was a little nice. But like it was like I asked her, like at one point there was Isla wanted either this purple bike or this yellow bike.
Yeah.
And the girl couldn't understand that that to a fucking 7-year-old the color is a really important deal.
Oh, it's
and she was
paramount.
like, and the girl was like, well, you know, they're the same bike.
Doesn't matter.
And I was like, she's fucking 7. Yeah. You really going to try to rationalize with this kid? Yeah. They're the same bike.
Luck.
Yeah, good luck. She wants the fucking yellow one, okay? We bought a dog because it had a pink collar on it. Like, I wanted the one with the yellow one because that was the one, it was the male, that's the one he had promised me, and it was $1,000 cheaper. But Priscilla shows up with a fucking pink collar, and now this is the show dog, and he doesn't want to sell. So I've had that problem. In Richmond, we were casting for Trip Flip, and we found our couple in a bike shop, and they were buying their son a bike. Uh-huh. And I went in, and one of the guys asked what I was doing, and I told him. I said, we're doing a show for Travel Channels. I take people on Adventures Lifetime. And one of the guys that worked at the bike shop was like, oh, that's really fucking cool, man. I said, well, get your girlfriend, bring her down, man. We're here all day. Like, come and talk to me. He's like, yeah. And then the other guy's like, hey, man. He's like clearly the general manager. He had literally the Raleigh Massimino, Raleigh Fingers mustache.
Raleigh Fingers mustache, yeah.
Raleigh Massimino's coach of Villanova. But he had like the hipster mustache with the hipster slick back to one side hairstyle that's shaved up tight. And he's like, hey, man, we're working in here. We're doing business, okay?
Oh,
and I was like, lose the fucking attitude, dude. Lose the fuck.
You're in a bike shop. You're not in the
fucking
not
pump
on the floor of the stock market.
Exactly. You sell bicycles.
Right.
I was literally losing my fucking mind. Every bike shop I've been into recently, I get the exact same attitude where it's like almost they're arrogant that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like you're a problem for them.
I walked in. I go, I need clips for my spin bike, and they're like, what kind of bike do you have? I go, it doesn't matter, because I know enough to know fucking pedals go into pedals.
Right.
And he goes, well, I need to know that to know what kind of clips you want. And I go, I can tell you what kind of shoes I have, and why don't you sell me the clips that fit those shoes? And he goes, there's tons of different shoes out there. And I go, well, I know the ones that I have, so why don't I tell you what I have, and you find the clips. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? I'm losing my fucking mind over a bike. Like, so anyway, I got, in watching this documentary Spark, a couple times I got the vibe that, and I've worked with people from Burning Man, and I've worked with hipsters, and they always give you this, like, sometimes they give you this, like, I'm better than you attitude.
Sure.
And you just want to go, hey, man, like, I don't think that way about anybody in this world. What gives you the right to think that way about me? Like, you clearly are not better than anybody. You don't have a job sometimes. You just simply have honed into an attitude. What gives you the right to say that about me? I don't think that about you. I didn't come up here going think I'm better than you. Yeah. And so Burning Man, I watched this documentary, and it was about the founders of Burning Man. And one of the women that they profiled was like, it was like just this moment, these guys, and it's very corporate talk, by the way. And I think from what I understood in this documentary, Burning Man went very corporate, and I think that's what turned a lot of people off.
Yeah.
But this woman in the documentary, like, these two guys, they're younger, and there are hipsters. They still belong at Burning Man. If you go to Burning Man, you belong there. Sure. That's the part of the thing. Yeah. And they were like, they're like, hey, is this the VIP tent? And she was
VIP tent.
And she was like, yeah, I don't know where you even got that jargon. Like, we don't call it that. We're working right now. Like, you could totally tell that, like, she was giving them attitude, but that there was a hierarchy, and that she did believe she was better than them, and she was not about to let them in her tent, which is so against the theme of Burning Man. Sure. And I was like, I saw it, and I was like, oh my God, I bet Burning Man's fucking exhausting. Like,
I would imagine. I mean, look, all good things like that
I'm sure it started out with the best intentions of being like an awesome party and everyone's equal and all that, and I'm sure it's still pretty cool. But look, man, I've been to Coachella a bunch of times, and like, if you don't have the VIP stuff, believe me, it's not as much fun.
We did for Birth the Conqueror. We did a they go down this mountain on big wheels.
Yeah.
And they go down this big, real steep thing in San Francisco, and it's put together by, and by the way, everyone will tell you they work at Burning Man.
I saw that episode.
Yeah, and so it's put together by, quote unquote.
Your parents were shitting themselves.
Oh, they were fucking losing their minds. It's put together by the guys who, quote unquote, pretty much run Burning Man these days.
Okay.
That's what they were saying to us. And they were like, we don't let just anyone do that. Like it was almost like they own this.
Yeah.
And what's just crazy is they're a group of people that clearly do not believe in ownership. They get upset when they find out that George Bush had ownership in some sort of thing that he promoted, or that there was nepotism in Dick Cheney's fucking business doings. However, when given the opportunity, they simply go right to that. They've got this, and they don't want you to do it, but their friends can do it. And you're like, and I was like, don't, if you don't believe in nepotism, don't believe in nepotism, and allow everyone to do it. But they don't allow everyone to do it.
Right.
They were fucking kicking people out left and right, and then they told me a number of times they were so not cool to me, and they were like, just so you know, we told Sam Champion he couldn't do this. We told Sam Champion himself he couldn't do this, and I was like, okay, I have
Sam,
no.
The weather guy?
Yeah, the nicest fucking guy in the world. By the way, openly gay, struggled more with being an outsider than any of these fucking people, knows more about connecting with what these guys stand for than fucking anybody. You're talking about a guy who literally has had to fight and hide parts of his personality to get by in America day in and day out. And you're going to tell that guy that he doesn't belong with you?
He
belongs,
can't ride a big wheel?
Yeah, he belongs there more than you fucking belong there. Sam Champion's a goddamn hero, and they fucking, and I was like, and I know Sam at the time, so I'm almost offended that they said that, because I go, Sam's the sweetest fucking guy I've ever met. He will do more for you and bend over backwards more for you than anyone, and they're gonna fucking say no to Sam Champion? I brought it up to Sam one time, by the way, and he had no recollection.
What are you talking about?
He had no fucking recollection.
He's like, you're a maniac.
Yeah, he's like, fucking, don't stand up for me anymore, okay? I got it.
Yeah,
but
please, for God's sake.
fucking man. But so I'm afraid that if I went to Burning Man, I would never go with the TV crew, 'cause you would just get attitude. And I think also that is a little bit, I always meet these people with a TV crew, so they kind of like go over the top.
Yeah. But I'm trying to imagine you at Burning Man. I bet you would.
I can't imagine. I just would want to see tits.
You would just go nuts.
All I want to do is see tits. I mean, I don't like, let's like fucking party and see tits.
Yeah.
And I like cool art installations. I definitely do.
Yeah,
but I don't know if I'd.
When we get down to brass tacks, it's all about.
It's like, and it's very primal. Like, blow shit up. I love it.
Yeah.
That's very, dude. You know what?
I mean,
you know
I want to go. I want to check it out, but it seems like you got to buy like survival gear and like you got to wear like masks because they have sandstorms and all kinds of.
It's apparently pretty intense. One of the girls that I work, one of the women. I apologize. One of the women I work with, I say girl, I don't know why I was trying to compliment her, but she's fucking a grown up. Kristen Highbreder, she's fucking awesome. Okay. She goes to Burning Man and she fucking tells me how great it is.
Yeah.
And she's like, you gotta go. It's fucking a riot. You have a blast. And I'd love to see cool art installations. I would love, if there is such thing as like positive energy and not judging, and you can really find that there, I would love that.
Did you ever go to Dead shows? Did you ever do that?
Maybe. I think I went to one.
Yeah, see, I used to do that. And that
Either that or it was a fish show, but I'm not that kind of guy. I can't open up like that. If someone gives me a fucking bean patty, I don't need it. I'm not the kind of guy that can be like, oh yeah, thanks, man.
Shows were cool. In the parking lot, it was cool. It was a lot of fun. It was a big party.
Yeah.
And it was always kind of impromptu. There was never any form or function to it. And I don't know. I mean, maybe Burning Man's like that too. I
hope to God. Like, I would love for Burning Man. It's got to be one of my kids. Oh, it's LeeAnn cleaning out George's shoes.
Okay.
I would love to go to Burning Man, and I would love to experience it, and I would love to be a fly on the wall and not be me. But here's the other thing, is that if I get drunk, I'm going to definitely turn into me.
Oh, yeah.
I have a feeling me is not like...
Do you think they have like a Burning Man jail? Would you get thrown in Burning Man jail?
No, but I by the way, how fucking debaucherous do you think Burning Man jail is?
Oh my God.
Just butt fucking everybody.
Can you imagine?
Everyone's getting fucked in the ass.
That's where the party is.
You're like, dude, get me thrown in Burning Man jail. That's fucking insane.
Right.
That's like what is Oh shit! What was I gonna say? God damn it! My brain is not firing the way it used to. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. It is a very rough weekend. I'm going out drinking tonight. Burning Man jail. Burning Man.
What Burning Man jail?
Oh, I was thinking about. I'm thinking about putting together a Burning Man comedy tent. Like do a Burning Man comedy.
I think they do that at some festivals, like at Bonnaroo. And
no, but not like that. Like a comedy art installation.
Right.
So it's comedy.
Okay.
It's through loudspeakers. It's us with microphones. We come out and do a live show, but throughout the day, it's there to lighten the mood.
Right.
And it's like, like people walk in and, you get someone like, maybe like get Jeff Ross, and he roasts people as they walk in.
Oh, that would be
and you
brutal.
get but it's just over, like he's just got a monitor that he's sitting in the back, and it's like 5 microphones that all are attached to speakers. We make a cool art installation that is like a funnel of fucking love, and you earn, because I like the premise of Burning Man.
Yeah.
The guy Larry that put it together seems like he fucking gets it.
Yeah.
He really seems like he was different before people knew what different was.
Right.
Then I think he hired a lot of people that wanted to be more different than they ever could be.
Yeah.
They'll never be as interesting as that guy Larry.
Right.
And they're like quote unquote co-founders, but like Larry was doing it just to burn a big fucking thing and get weird on a beach.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but it looks really cool. I wouldn't mind going. But I don't know.
It's hard when you got kids, though. Like for
some
me,
people
like
bring their
you're
kids.
able to do things because you can go on the road and do shit.
Yeah.
Like me, I can't do that anymore. For me, it's like you need to stay home and take your kid to school.
Some people bring their kids to Burning Man.
Oh, I could never do that.
That was the weird thing, is I saw people with their kids, but it basically is people who like to build cars. People build like crazy cars.
Yeah.
And they build their car, and then they drive around with their kids, and they let their kid drive the car.
Sure.
But
then how long
cool.
can the kids stay interested in that? I mean,
it's a great way
can you
to
imagine like it's out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the desert. You get all the way out there, you're there for like maybe an hour or two, and the kid's like, I want to go home.
Oh, dude, can you imagine my fucking kids?
Oh no, that's what I'm thinking about.
Dad, where's the DVD player?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, guys, iPods don't work out here. We're not getting connection.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, there's a sandstorm. I apologize for the dirt inside
put my hand over my kid's eyes because she wouldn't see penis walking around all the time.
George and Isla would be like, that's a small one.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't imagine taking my girls to Burning Man. Maybe that's a good show, though. Burning Family.
Burning Family.
All right, so we turn the game back on.
Yeah.
And Alabama is winning 21-7, but I hope to God that fucking Auburn comes back.
I'm so sick of Alabama. They beat my Irish last year.
Really?
Yeah.
I would never have dreadlocks if I played professional football.
Yeah, I'd be worried somebody'd pull them out.
Did you see the guy that pulled them out the other day?
No.
Some guy pulled out some guy's dreadlocks and just held him up to the camera and just threw him down.
That's
like a handful of fucking dreadlocks.
That's like something Conan the Barbarian. Yeah.
Dude, do you have to get all your dreadlocks cut?
Yeah, I don't know. That stuff's hard to grow.
Dude, you're talking about years of this guy's life just hanging out the back of his helmet.
Yep.
It's literally the end of that dreadlock probably started when he was hoping to get a scholarship.
Like 16 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, I hope this works.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, again, Bert, thank you so much.
No, don't mention it. I appreciate it, John.
Awesome.
Everyone, go to Rolling Soldier, go to Indiegogo.com, go to The Rolling Soldier there, donate to the project. You will see it. From there, you can find links to go watch the trailer that he made. And then when it's up and running, after you've got him, I will promote it. This looks like a touchdown. Why are you stumbling? God damn it. So, everyone, this is at 3 minutes and 14 seconds in the Alabama-Auburn game. And so as you're listening to this, you're like, well, Bert thought they were going to come back, huh? Or, man, I hope you stuck around. That's a good damn game. Yeah. So, yeah, John, it's at John Tague, Tague.
John J. Tague, at John J. Tague. That's my Twitter handle.
And you... I appreciate everyone for listening. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not skipping any days. This is a double week, 2 in 1 week. I'm going to have probably 2 next week. And I'm going to start doing it by myself because I will never let you go without a week of me. This is the 51st episode. Wow. 1 year anniversary. Wow. We did my first one yesterday. Yesterday, a year ago.
Holy
Joey
shit.
Diaz came over.
Right.
And my dad and John and Tom Segura and you and John Moore. It was a fucking great day.
I don't think I ever laughed that hard in my life.
I'll tell you what this podcast has done is makes a year feel like it goes by slow. So I feel I like that. All right, John, thank you, man. Thanks. Oh, wait. Anything? Did we talk anything Claire stuff?
If you live in the LA area, if you're around Sherman Oaks, go to Rising Lotus Yoga.
Rising Lotus Yoga on Ventura, right?
Yeah, get your yoga on.
All right. That's it, John. Thank you so much. I love you.
This episode was brought to you by The Machine.